Good morning. It's Mary here, and we're going to continue on with part 13 of Losing the Boomer Blues. They got out of the car, breathed in the cool, salty air, and started walking hand in hand up to the restaurant. Bob held the door open for Jane, and as they entered, he gave his name to the hostess. She smiled and led them to the main dining room. Much to Jane's surprise, she noticed a rainbow of balloons hovering over the table overlooking the ocean, and her twins and their families waving to her and Bob. "I can't believe it!" exclaimed Jane. "What a wonderful surprise! Bob, did you plan this?" "No, but I was in on it. The kids wanted to make this a special day for all of us." Hugging her children and grandchildren, Jane said, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. 39 years ago, I gave birth to my beautiful twins. And 45 years ago to the day, I married the love of my life," replied Bob. Kelly hugged his mother and whispered in her ear, "Your shoestring is untied, Mom." Laughing, Jane asked, "What else is new?" and bent down to tie it. Everyone was anxious to celebrate. Bob ordered a bottle of wine to toast the dual celebrations. The grandchildren ordered their favorite meals, mac and cheese and chicken nuggets. The adults all agreed to splurge and ordered steak and lobster. During the meal, David and Catherine shared their summer plans to vacation in Spain. They felt that the trip would be a great learning experience for their 4-year-old son, Harry. Cheryl proudly informed everyone about Kelly's recent Architectural Design Award. His unique style and innovative approach to designing eco-friendly dream homes had earned him yet another feather in his cap. All too soon it was dessert time, and no one was happier than the children. They all beamed with joy when the waitress Patricia brought them each a slice of birthday cake. Baron, the waiter, wished Bob and Jane a happy anniversary, and the staff sang "Happy Birthday" to Kelly and Catherine. Everyone ate slices of cake and enjoyed the final moments of their celebration. Kelly finished his coffee, gathered up his family, and was ready to tackle the long drive home. As he was leaving, he hugged his parents and said, "We'll celebrate again soon. Next time we'll fly in. The drive along the coast is beautiful, but it doesn't allow enough time to visit. I'm sorry to eat and run, but we need to get back on the road and head home to Irvine." Jane hugged and kissed Kelly and Cheryl goodbye and said, "Thank you so much for making the long drive and spending precious time with us." Reaching for the rainbow string attached to the balloon, Bob boasted, "I'm taking these beautiful balloons home with us. They're a work of art, Catherine. You got your craft skills from your mom, definitely not from me." As they were leaving, Catherine said, "Give us a call when you get home, Mom." She turned to her father and said, "Thanks for making this a big surprise for Mom." Bob replied, "I couldn't have pulled it off without all of you." Chapter 6. Joe Paints Mary's Fence. Joe phoned Mary on Wednesday morning to let her know he was coming into the city to run errands. He asked if he could stop by and look at her backyard fence to get an idea of what color to paint it. She told him she'd be out for a while, but would leave the gate unlocked. He arrived early in the afternoon while she was still out. He looked at the fence and sized up the situation. He felt a rust color would be perfect and took off for the paint store. He returned a little after 2 o'clock with the perfect color. He got out of his truck carrying the can of paint as Mary was pulling into her driveway. Appearing exhausted, she slowly got out of the car and said, "Thank God that's over." Walking up to her, he said, "I got the paint." Pointing to the color sample on the can, he waited for her reaction. "Wow, I like that rust color." Relieved, he said, "I'm glad." She opened her trunk and sighed. I don't like grocery shopping. Joe replied, I don't either, but we have to eat. Those bags look heavy. I'll carry them in for you. Thanks, Joe. I think my cupboards and fridge will be jam-packed now. I was running low on everything. She opened the front door, and Joe carried the groceries into the kitchen and put them on the table. Do you want a cold drink? No, thanks. I have an iced coffee in my truck. Sorry, but I'm in a rush, hon. I'll put the paint in the back and lock your gate. See you tomorrow morning around 7 o'clock. I'll work up an appetite, so we'll grab a bite to eat after I'm finished painting. He kissed her goodbye and rushed off. The next day showed up bright and early, ready for work. Mary knew that he'd be hungry and in need of a pick-me-up, so she greeted him with a freshly brewed cup of coffee and a blueberry muffin. Thanks for the cup of joe, Mary, he winked. She smiled and said, You'll enjoy the muffin as well, Joe. It shouldn't take me too long to paint the fence. Think of a place close by to have lunch. I have somewhere in mind already. Don't tell me, keep me in suspense. He was finished with the fence by noon. Mary was delighted to know that the project was completed. I'm treating you to lunch, Joe. It looks beautiful. How much do I owe you? You don't owe me anything, Mary. You should know by now. I enjoy your company. I feel the same way, Joe. How does Hamburger Haven sound? I remember that diner. Let's head out. I'm starved. How about you? Mary put on her shades and replied, I'm famished. Joe quickly asked, Do you mind if I wear your shades? I sort of want to see what happens. Mary handed Joe her sunglasses and said, Let me know if you experience anything out of the ordinary. Joe put them on, and they began walking up Clement to 9th Avenue. Arriving at Hamburger Haven, they noticed Robin Williams' picture in the front window. Mary sadly said, It's so hard to believe he's gone. I miss his witty humor. His death was unexpected and tragic. I miss him too. Joe removed the sunglasses and took Mary's hand as they entered the cafe. Not much had changed down through the years. Corned beef and cabbage was still on the menu. For old time's sake, they both ordered it. The waiter promptly brought their meals. Mary closed her eyes, licked her lips, and said, The corned beef isn't too salty, and the cabbage melts in my mouth. I'm happy it's the special of the day. They lingered a while over apple pie a la mode and coffee for dessert. Joe insisted on picking up the check, and Mary graciously accepted. After their meal, they began their short walk back to Mary's home. Joe put the sunglasses back on and began to recall his high school days. He remarked, It's hard to believe my 50th year class reunion is now history. In retrospect, I regret not going to it. This was the opening Mary needed. She thought now was the perfect time to ask him to be her date at her reunion, and was delighted when he eagerly accepted. We'll go in my '57 Chevy. That car was cherry back then. Mary's eyes lit up. I can't wait to see your car. Then you'll have to come to Santa Cruz soon. We'll take a ride and enjoy a pleasant day on the boardwalk. That'll be fun, Joe. I look forward to it. I want to ride the roller coaster with you, Mary. I sense there's a wild side to you. Really? Laughed Mary. I assure you, Joe, I'm not that wild anymore. The sunglasses must be having a nostalgic effect on you. You remember things about me that I'd rather forget. I'm not as brave as I was back then, and no doubt the ride will scare me. Don't worry. I'll hold on to you if you get scared. Mary smiled. Thanks for being so considerate, Joe, but it's more like I'll be holding on to you. We'll continue on tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today. Have a nice day, and happy Memorial Day.